How we doing?
I left the flag up there on the table for you.
Oh, okay.
You know it. She knows.
Flag?
Yeah.
Is that to retire?
Retire.
Okay.
Yeah.
We just cleaned them all out, so I'll start a new batch.
Well, I don't know when you retire and you're done.
We do.
I went and bought my son a new flag. I wasn't thinking about the size of the pole. The flag is that this far off the ground when it's hanging up.
Oh, yeah.
With them to change it back out.
Yeah, we usually do a couple of flag retirements a year.
Well, either you or the DFW, that's what we're going to give to them.
DFW usually calls us. We come help. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they probably met as part of the meeting.
I had everything
Careful. See, I have
Just Terry here.
somebody, yeah, that was their that latest one until Wonder hit the stage this week.
Now, my favorite will always be Freedom.
Freedom, oh, I'm not that freedom. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and they got.
They're in that independent spot. It's more class. That was good. I don't see you on the list.
He's always been good.
You're not looking to get to the plan. We'll go out with it. They'll be there. You get pepper, you all get like, I'm just.
We're going back to that same hotel. I like that.
But I'm not in that class already. I'm in that class. There at the hotel. I mean, I'm just like, there's only one level above me, and I don't have
St. Augustine.
So it was nothing to say. So over time, that all adds up. So in your lifetime titanium, above the math, I'm almost always upgraded when
Long Beach Hotel.
they have the it's all good.
I'm gonna be doing my mile swim in a mountain
All good.
That's why my God, over 700 people that look I'm gonna show you my mile swim catch they gave signed up for.
Lakeland.
I don't know the name of the lake. It's a cold mountain.
Don't believe about the mile catch, the one that I had that I needed.
I got one you never get. I got a 3-mile swim pad.
Oh, there you go.
Last time we did it, there were 700 people. 2 of us went up 3 miles swim. Me and one other adult.
That don't look like a boat.
Now it's all and go in the water, they say, I'm not going here.
Well, I've been on it.
It's 40 deep out there.
Yeah.
We were getting tea rescues.
Key West.
Yeah.
So I can actually say I walked in the water.
Yeah, we took them out last weekend and did tea rescues.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
So you're always trying to water.
But is that Camp Soul yet?
Yeah.
That must be up there too.
You're all on your own.
When we were a kid, there was no condos on the other side.
Now there was, and we had the wine strokes going We used to go in there and have wine strokes fights.
He's gonna come back and see if I
Yeah, but then until they got that on.
You know, people.
Probably lucky to bring your mind was
Probably.
Mike's a couple of
Papers left in the Dollar Tree down the street. People landscape.
I don't do that one, I did that.
They literally try to cut up plants all over the I'm like, oh my God, this is like amazing. It's nice to it's really just nice.
Oh,
I belong to the, what city? Well, you belong to Canal. I gotta get grades.
Hello, folks at home. We'll be starting in 5 minutes. You could put a light out there.
Sometimes I'll
You get a little spotlight. That's bad.
Yeah, I'm tired of chicken. It's all my roommates.
Yeah.
Do you buy tickets to the alter egos ahead of time, or can I pay for those later? Like, there was something that was like, oh, you need to buy your tickets now. I think it was like the Disney thing. Is that the same with alter egos or
I think
no?
we got a little more breathing room.
No, I mean, it's like your signature and like whatever else you go there is really good and something other is terrible. So it's not consistent. It's not consistent, but I heard they remodeled the whole place, so it might be better. Why does it put them up there again?
Okay, I'll get out of here.
Yeah.
Here's my flyer. Yes, it is. Thank you. I got a pen, but
Yes, that's fine, yes, thank you.
30 seconds, folks.
Yes, please.
can I get another bite?
You can have it while you're eating.
Oh, look, Barbara. They don't look pleased with you.
I got Wendy like that one.
Someone from your past has come to the final.
2, 1. All right, I got 1:30. Welcome everybody to Travel is Fun Tours. Yay! It's our March Travel Club meeting. Happy St. Patrick's Day coming up. Happy Patrick's birthday next week. That's my dad. If you didn't know, Dad was out of the office. He had a little surgery last week. He's doing great. But he picked a good week for his surgery because we don't have any trips going on for a few days. So he's all recovered. And by the time we go to Andre Rieu, he should be all set. So welcome. We're going to talk about all the upcoming trips and all the stuff going on with Travel is Fun and get you up to date. Those of you who have this memorized with me, you can say it with me. We are a family-owned small business. We have an office right around the corner over by the barber shop, and we've been there quite a long time. We are responsive to your needs. If you have a question about what's going on with Tyrone Garden Shopping Center, you saw all the fencing around the corner. They're tearing out that entire corner, and that's going to become a gym. And that's been in the works for probably a year now. It looks like they're actually finally doing something with it. Being a small family business, we are responsive to your needs. We want you to come back. Not only do we want you to come back, we want you to drag your friends, neighbors, acquaintances, strangers. I don't care. If they got a checkbook, bring them along and get them on a tour. We have over 40 years of experience. We've been doing trips for a very long time. And if you add us all together, it's probably over a century of experience. Most of that is Dad. We've got up-to-date modern motor coaches. We do work with Mart's First Class. A lot of you have heard. Jesse Austin, who had been our driver for like the last 10 years, he has decided to move on, and he's a FedEx driver now. So we are rotating through some other drivers with Mart's to make sure we've got drivers we like, and we're going to have a limited list of which drivers we'll be accepting. So that'll be a little bit of change going on for you. I know you guys love Jesse, but he's got to do what's best for him. There's the bus. We do 10 to 15 day trips a month. We're working on getting up to 10 or 15. That is pre-COVID. Post-COVID, I've been doing anywhere from 8 to 12 in a month, depending on the month. And when we get to June, you'll see June's a little light. And I'll explain some of my scheduling issues with you when we get there. But you want to make sure you get the white sheet that lists all of the tours coming up. If you didn't get one from Ollie, or if you want an updated one, you can go on our website. This is posted on the website in this format, so you can print it on regular printer paper instead of keeping a stock of legal size paper like Barbara does, because she's special. We do multi-day tours too. We go all over the place. We do have a diamond tour coming up, so I'll tell you about that one as we get to it. But each tour, each multi-day tour has its own sheet that lists day by day what you're doing, where you're staying, what you're going to be seeing. It tells you about the price. It tells you when the balance is due. One thing to remember, we put it on all our sheets now, is a lot of folks will look at that balance due date and assume if it's past that date, they can no longer go on that tour if they're not already signed up. Nothing could be further from the truth. As long as I've got space on the bus, and as long as my hotels and vendors have space, we will add you right up until about the day before the trip goes. As long as we've got space, we would love to have you go with us. Optional is the travel club. Probably someday going to go the way of the dinosaur. But for now, a lot of you guys still like getting stuff in your mailbox, not your electronic mailbox, your actual one that the hornets make nests on the bottom, at least in my house. But if you want to be on the mailing list and get the paper mail sent to you, it's $14 for new members, $10 for renewals. You get a name tag, you get $2 off, and you also get the mailing every month. It is not required for anybody to go on the bus to be in the travel club. It's just a little extra thing we do for folks who like to get this stuff in the mail. Bottom line with travel is fun. We are always going to be friendly. Even if I'm having a bad day, I'm going to try really hard to be friendly. Try to be very courteous. That's part of the Scout law, both of those, right, Ed?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, Eagle Scout back there. We are very informative. We do lots and lots of research. Who here went on the History of St. Pete tour with Wendy and I? You guys got about a quarter to a third of the actual research that Wendy did and I helped organize for that tour. It was a beast. She could have gotten a master's degree on that. We want to keep you comfortable. We try to keep the temperatures comfy. We try to keep everybody happy and healthy on the bus. And just make sure you have a good time. You guys are the biggest part of that because courteous, friendly customers make for really nice trips. That's what you guys all are. Most of all, we want you to have fun. We're going to go different places. We're going to see new things. We're going to explore. We're going to learn things and have a great time together. Speaking of learning and having a great time together, we're going to do the Where in the World contest now. If you don't have one of those little yellow slips, put your hand in the air. Ollie will get it to you. But I think she's got everybody covered. Winner is going to get $25 off their next trip. It is a picture of a place we have been before. Best answer wins the prize. That means if you know the city, the state, the zip code, you know who built whatever we're looking at, you know more details, put those on your little yellow slip. That's how we break ties. If you know the right answer and you want to turn the contest into a drawing, go ahead and yell out the right answer. If you're devious like Terry, then yell out the wrong answer on purpose and throw everybody else off the track, and then you get to win by yourself. So we don't use phone a friend. We don't use our smartphones to look up the answer. And 1 win per calendar year. So let's see, we had January. Who won in January? Marina. Who won in February? You won in February. So the rest of you are game. You two are out. But still fill in your slips because I got other stuff to give away in the drawings. So you can still win something. You just aren't getting where in the world. What's that? Got him? You good? She kept. Hey, Ollie, I need 2 yellow slips for these nice ladies.
She just kept. Oh, I got your slips. Remember you signed them.
Yeah, but we need them back.
Huh?
For where in the world? She needs them.
We need them
I did.
with our names on them.
Because they got to put their
Yeah,
answer
they
up.
filled them out.
Yes, you did. And you gave them right back to me, and I said, I'll put them in the bag when I do the.
Well, they need them for where in the world, though?
That's right, that's what they signed. They're,
But they got to put the answer up.
We have a tumbler in the.
They might have been there and seen it.
that's true. I tried to make you take them, but you came back.
There we go. All right, we're straight now.
I know what you did.
Okay, you guys ready to see your clue? Here it comes. I think this is a tricky one. Some of you might have been here before, but not too many of you. If it helps, it is on Shorewood Road, if you can't read that. The ones in front can probably read it. That's probably not very much help.
Yeah.
And if you just write if you write Shorewood Road on your slip, that's probably not going to be enough to win. All right, that's your clue. And judging by the puzzled looks on your faces, this could be a drawing today. Even Barbara's looking. Oh. Okay, we're going to move on then. Jumping into highlights of upcoming trips. For the rest of March, you see a lot of green lights. Green lights are good. That means that trip is going. So Monday, we're going to see Andre Rieu. I got about half a dozen seats open on the bus still. If you would like to go see Andre Rieu, check with us in the office. We don't have a block of seats yet. We have to check with the theater individually as you call in to book a seat. So we will happily do that for you and get you on board. A couple things to know about seeing Andre Rieu. The man does not believe in ending his concerts on time. He will do encore after encore. So at the end of the concert, do not get up and go to the bus. Stay in your seat because he's going to give you 5 or 6 or 7 encores, and you're going to get another half an hour of show. I've had people do that before, and they sat on the bus sad and lonely for half an hour wondering where everybody was. Thursday, we've got Lunch Bunch at Alfano's, and it is locked in. I will be canoeing up the Swanee River with a bunch of scouts. You will be hosted by my lovely and talented wife, Miss Wendy Hampton, and she's going to be with you. You're going to Alfano's on St. Patrick's Day, so nothing better than Italian food on St. Patty's Day. There is plenty of space on that. Greater Tuna, that is not selling real well unless most of this room signs up. We're probably not going to see that one. That's at the Off-Broadway Palm Dinner Theater. That's down in Fort Myers. We have a wait list for my big fat Italian funeral. It's not that I have a full bus. We got about 45 on the bus, but the venue itself is sold out. They only had space for 65 at Seltzer's restaurant where they're going to be doing the show. So again, on a wait list, if you encounter a show or a trip you want to go on and it says wait list, don't be discouraged. Give us a call. We'll take your name and number. When there's a cancellation, we work our way down the wait list, and hopefully we'll get you back in there. And that happens a lot. How many of you guys have been on a wait list for a trip and gotten on the trip? Should be most of the room, right? Unless you're signing up for stuff the day it comes out like Buffy does. MacDill Air Force Base, Airfest, we do have a full bus for that. That's going to be a great trip. Sunday, March 27th, we're seeing Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat at Stage West up in Spring Hill. And that has just enough people to go. So as long as I don't get cancellations, that will be going. If you'd like to sign up and help fill those numbers a little bit, make sure it goes. It does not include a meal stop. It's just going up to Spring Hill, seeing a great performance of Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and then heading home. Now, finally, the St. Augustine 3-day trip. That's coming up March 28th to 30th. It is staying at the same beautiful hotel we were at Christmas time, and that is the Courtyard by Marriott. It's about 15 minutes outside of downtown St. Augustine. So the plan is to go to St. Augustine on day one, do a familiarization driving tour with the bus, show you around town, show you where some of the sites are going to be, and then go to the hotel, get you checked in. And once everybody's had a chance to relax in the hotel for a little bit, those who want to go back to downtown St. Augustine that night will have the option to go. And we'll take you down to the St. George Street. You can do a little shopping, have a nice dinner, a lot of great restaurants down there. Day two, after breakfast at the hotel, we'll take you back to St. Augustine. You'll have a trolley ticket for the full day, and you can use that to explore all of the sites, the fort, the winery, the distillery, the wax museum, Ripley's Believe It or Not. There's the Spanish Colonial Village, Pirate Museum, on and on and on. A million things to see in St. Augustine. The nice thing with the trolley is they do explain to you all the things you're driving by and seeing. And at the end of that day, we'll do a little bit of shuttling for those who want to stay in St. Augustine late and have dinner that day. We're also going to do a trip over to World of Golf for those who would like to visit the World Golf Museum. And the Bill Murray and his brothers have a restaurant there. So we'll have a side trip over there. Now, what's going on with St. Augustine is I need at least 24 people to go. We're at about 20 right now. So if you would like to go visit St. Augustine, don't hesitate. Let me know. We'll get your name on the list, and if we get enough, we'll be running it. Otherwise, this Thursday afternoon, we're going to have to cancel that one and scrub it. Moving into April. Yes, ma'am.
So how much is the trip?
How much is the trip? It is on the back of your white sheet there. But that one is $429 per person for double occupancy, 2 in the room, or $569 if you don't want to put up with somebody snoring in your room. Moving on, we got April 1st. We're going to go on the Eufaula pilgrimage. This one's solid. We're in the 30s on there, so it's looking good. We've got 2 nights at the Quality Inn in Eufaula, Alabama. Eufaula, Alabama is a small town on the Withlacoochee River. The river goes between Alabama and Georgia, so we're right on the Georgia border. And the town is famous because at the end of the Civil War, when Sherman's troops were burning everything, Eufaula was one of the few towns that got spared, and they have the largest collection of antebellum mansions that are in beautiful shape. People live in the houses still. And so once a year, they have the Eufaula pilgrimage. They open the houses to the public, and we get to tour these houses. We're going to have daytime tours. We'll have candlelight tours in some of the houses. We've got a ton of great meals on this one. We've got entertainment going on. So day one, we get to Eufaula, check in the hotel. We got a step-on guide who's going to drive us around town a little. We have dinner at the Shorter Mansion. Have you ever seen the movie? Who's seen the movie Sweet Home Alabama? Reese Witherspoon? Good movie. Reese Witherspoon's mother punches Candace Bergen right in the jaw, knocks her right down. She deserves it by that part of it because she's kind of mean in that, isn't she? Remember? We're going to have dinner in that mansion where the wedding was taking place. We're going to have one candlelight tour that evening. Day two, we've got daytime tours of of mansions. We've got picnic on the porch for lunch. We got a nice barbecue dinner. We'll have another candlelight tour that evening. Day three, we're going to take you downtown where they've got They're going to have a antique show. They're going to have a quilting show. They're going to have an arts and crafts exhibit out in the square. They'll have food trucks so you can get some lunch. So it's really a great trip. Then finally coming home after day 3, we'll go back to Valdosta, Georgia for the night to stay at a very nice Drury Inn. So again, I've got space on there. We'd love to have you join us. April 2nd, we got 3 redneck tenors, and that's at the Suncoast Broadway Theater. You can't beat this one. This is going to, it's a new breed in the tenor genre. Their musical comedy featuring classically trained veteran artists is like Duck Dynasty goes to Carnegie Hall. That's a good description. Down home laughs with big city music. It's been said that if Larry the Cable Guy, Il Divo, and Mrs. Doubtfire had a baby, that child would be the 3 redneck tenors. How can you resist?
Do you have any idea what the departure time will be on that?
Ollie, you should have some departure time sheets back there. Can you take a look?
What do you want to know?
She wants to know the departure times for 3 redneck tenors on April 2nd.
Okay.
While she's looking that up, that is available on our website. If you can pull it up on your smartphone or on your computer at home, click on arrivals and departures, and it will tell you 2 months worth of departure times for all of our trips, which is real handy on a Sunday afternoon when you're getting ready to leave Monday morning and you can't remember what the departure time is and you're having trouble getting a hold of me because I'm canoeing down a river. Anyway, that's at Suncoast Broadway Theater up in Hudson. Food is fantastic there now. They're under new management. It should be a really, really fun show. April 3rd, we've got another one coming up called One Night in Memphis, and that features the music of Elvis Presley, Carl Perkins, Johnny Cash, and what is Lewis's name? Jerry Lee Lewis. Why couldn't I remember that? It's a true story based on a night that the 4 of them wound up in the recording studio hanging out together and just entertained each other all night, playing music and telling jokes and stories. And that's going to be at Ruth Eckerd Hall. That includes a very nice buffet brunch before the show. And then you get the show with all this fantastic music. That one is also close to sold out, and the theater's kind of full. So again, when you call our office, we'll have to check with the theater, make sure we can get you a seat. April 7th, we're going back to Mount Dora to do the Mount Dora Canal boat ride. Very scenic ride. We're going to give you a couple hours in Mount Dora to go get a bite of lunch, do a little shopping. If you've never been to Mount Dora, it's a beautiful little town. Everybody remember Andy Griffith? Mayberry? It's kind of like Mayberry. It looks a lot like that. It's got that small town feel to it. You got a 2-hour narrated ride on a beautiful shaded boat. It's shaded along the Dora Canal, and that's a lot of fun there. April 9th, we're going to go see Herman's Royal Lipizzans. Now, that'll be an early morning performance. I think we're starting like at 9 or 9:30 with the horses. And you get about a 2-hour performance. It is in their rehearsal arena down near Sarasota. Actually, Mayaca City, I think, is more accurate. But usually they're rehearsal shows before they go out on tour. So you'll get 90% of the show you would see in an arena at way less than the price it would cost in an arena. So that's worth going to see. They're beautiful horses. If you don't know the story of the Royal Lipizzans, there's actually an old Disney movie that tells the story how George Patton's troops saved those horses from being euthanized at the end of World War II because Hitler wanted to destroy everything of any value, and those horses were on the list. So they came to America, and we get to see them perform to this day. Your lunch plan after the show is to go back up to Sarasota. We're going to drop you off either at Yoder's Amish restaurant or at Der Dutchman, which is actually run by Mennonites, but it's considered Amish by most of us English folks. What's that?
Lunch in Der Dutchman.
Der Dutchman.
Was a buffet and Yoder's is not.
Oh, yeah. Lou is lunch on own. DD is Der Dutchman.
Okay.
And Yoder's is Yoder's. So if you've never eaten lunch at Yoder's, that's a more authentic Amish restaurant. So we want to give you a chance to dine at Yoder's if you would like. It's a hard one to get a bus group in. You will have to wait in line to get a table.
Yoder's has a gift shop.
Yoder's does have a gift shop? I know Der Dutchman has a magnificent gift shop.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, the others.
It's upstairs.
It's another building.
Yeah.
There is an elevator.
Farmer's market, actually. next
Yeah.
door, yeah. They do have a good shop.
April 10th, we're going to do Kennedy Space Center. You shouldn't just go because it's named after me. That's your birthday? That's a good place to do your birthday. They're opening back up. They're having astronauts now come back and do their talks. So a lot of times you can see an astronaut in one of their theaters talking about his experiences or hers. You get to see the Shuttle Atlantis, which is a beautiful exhibit. If you haven't seen the Shuttle Atlantis exhibit, what are you waiting for? It's gorgeous, and it'll bring tears to your eyes. You can take the shuttle bus out to the Saturn V building and see what would have been Apollo 18, most of it, if that mission had gone through, if Congress hadn't cut their budget right when they did. And lunch is on your own, of course, there, but they actually have darn good food for what's basically a theme park, and the cost isn't too high either.
It's my hometown.
Hometown?
Yeah.
Titusville? Yeah, that's a good place to be from. Can you surf?
Oh, no.
No surfing for you?
No.
April 16th, we're going to do Paradise Ranch and go visit the Weld family bears. And these guys have been raising bears for generations. One of the things they do is there are crazy people out there like Ed who thinks this little bear cub would make a cute pet, and he brings it home, and then 400 pounds later, it's eating his friends and tearing up the house. And Ed doesn't know what to do with this bear. So he calls people like the Weld family. They come get the bear, and they've got great big outdoor areas for the bear to be happy and live in. And a lot of these bears earn their living by being in movies and TV shows. And the Weld family trains these bears to do all kinds of cool tricks. We will have a picnic lunch there. So we got burgers and hot dogs, and barbecue, and they threw ice cream in on the menu just because I asked, just for you guys. Because I know how you guys feel about ice cream. Same way I do, right? April 21st, we've got lunch bunch at Benedict's. I think we're doing that up in Largo. Is that where I said? Dunedin. I was close. They're neighbors. That should be a really nice lunch bunch and a lot of fun. If you don't know about lunch bunch, what we do is we get together, we sing happy birthday. The girls wear tiaras when it's their birthday, and I give you beads. We have a great time and have a nice lunch together. We try to keep it kind of a short day, so I don't run the bill up too high on the bus and make it real expensive on you. You will notice some of the prices have gone up. You've seen what's happened to gas prices, so that's trickling down to our trips and everything else. We're trying our best to keep those prices under control for you, but something's got to give a little bit. April 24th, we've got a 4-day trip down to the Keys and Miami, and a lot of great stuff featured on this one. Day 1, you're going to go down to the Everglades. You're going to get an airboat ride. You're going to meet some alligators, and then you're going to get to your hotel for the evening. Day 2, after a nice early breakfast, you're going to cruise down across all of those bridges down to Key West. All the way down to Key West, you'll have from probably about noon to about 7 p.m. in Key West. That'll give you time to see several of the attractions. We've got treasure museums down there. There's a good aquarium. There's the restaurants, the bars, a lot of great stuff to see in Key West. Should be a blast. And then day 3 is going to be your touring of the Miami area. You're going to go to Key Biscayne. You're going to have a boat tour out there. You're going to do some good shopping in Miami. And then day 4, pretty much we're heading home with a few stops along the way to get you some sights and some lunch and all. So that is our Key West trip. That one is selling actually real well. That's not till end of April, and I've already got 40 folks on there. So if you want that one, you got about 10 seats left before that's sold out. April 25th, we're going to do Alter Eagles. This is an Eagles cover band. Don't they do Hotel California? Is that them? Okay. One of the longest songs in music history, Hotel California, and one of the strangest songs too. But these are one of the top-rated Eagles cover bands in the whole country, and they're doing a great concert at the Venice Theater. It's a late afternoon show, and then after the show, we're going to give you time for dinner on your own in downtown Venice. A lot of good restaurants and shopping right near the theater. And after you've had a couple hours for that, we'll head you on home. And finally, wrapping up April with one of my favorite musicals of all time, Camelot. I actually got to see Camelot performed live at the Mahaffey when I was in college with my girlfriend. And I think it was Richard Burton played Arthur in that one. That was pretty cool. Fantastic musical. If you want to talk for hours about the imagery and themes of Camelot, come get me at my desk. I won't bore all of you guys with my dissertation on Camelot. But one of my favorite things about it is it's actually strongly based on a beautiful book by a writer named E.B. White. And he also wrote Stuart Little. He also wrote a book called The Elements of Style, which teaches you how to write properly. But he wrote a book called The Once and Future King, which there's a Disney movie called The Black Cauldron based on that. But a lot of Camelot is based on his book as well. And it's a beautiful rendition of the Arthur legend. Well, that takes us to the end of April, so it's time to look at the wheels on the bus. Here we go. Here's a diagram to explain where you people sit. The quiet ones are supposed to sit up front. That doesn't usually work out, especially if Wendy's on the bus. The normal ones are usually in the middle. I can buy that. And then the naughty and noisy ones are also in the back. Yeah, there's Carl. Own it, Carl. Own it. I like this one. Grandmas are so nice that they want everything that's yours to be warm and comfy too. That is a lot of crocheting. That's got to be about $10,000 worth of yarn easy. 1978. Who went to school in 1978? Most of us did, right? You went to school no matter what. Here's 2018. No school. There's like a little tiny bit of snow around the bus. Ain't that the truth? Now we got a solution to that. No more snow days. We'll just make that your school bus. And this is for me. As I get older, I think about all the people I've lost along the way. I must be the worst tour guide ever. Okay, jumping into May, we're going to kick May off with a trip up to Tarpon Springs. We're going to get there early in the morning, give you plenty of time to do a little shopping, buy some sponges, check out the sponge docks. We're going to have lunch included at Hella's. That'll be inside and air conditioned there. So we'll be there in the morning. You get your walking around the sidewalks in before the heat of the day. Have a great lunch at Hella's. And then we got a special treat for you. We're going to go to the St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church. I did that last January with my scouts as a field trip, and it's a spectacularly beautiful church inside. The guy who does the tour, he's been doing those tours for 20 years. He knows that church inside now. And he does. If you don't know much about Greek Orthodox, one of the things their churches feature is something called relics. If you don't know what a relic is, basically it's a piece of a, yeah, you are not. You guys are all young at heart. A relic is actually a piece of a saint. So there is a finger from St. Nicholas in a box at the church. So if you want to visit St. Nicholas and ask for what you want for Christmas, you can say hi to his finger and get an interesting. What's that?
You got Pancho Villa's also?
Yeah, I remember the story of Pancho Villa's finger.
Is that the one with the crying statue?
Not that I am aware of. I don't remember him saying anything about that. For Cinco de Mayo, we're going to go to Chinook Haven. Haven't been to Chinook Haven, I think, since 2019 for sure. And it's a little fish camp restaurant. It's down on the Mayaca River. And it's a neat little place. It's not that big, but they got a great menu. The real nice family running it. They got great food. They got beer, wine, and all that. And they got the Suncoast Banjo Society. We'll be there playing some of your most famous Mexican songs on banjo. we know they're all very suited for being on banjo. It's a really nice day out. It's very shady, a lot of big trees. So if you're sitting outside listening to the banjos, you won't be too hot. Or you can sit in the patio in the shade. May 7th, we're going to do the Lakeland Hot Air Balloon Festival. A lot of times, over and over, I get people asking for balloon festivals. So here's one, fairly local, won't cost you an arm and a leg. The plan is we're going to drive out just after lunchtime and get you there early afternoon, and we'll stay through dinner time. They will have food trucks and stuff out there. They will have tethered balloon rides you can do for a fee. You can do helicopter rides out there for a fee. And we're going to stay through sunset, because at sunset, they're going to do what they call the evening glow. And all the balloons on the ground are going to turn on their burners and light up the balloons as the sun's going down. So it will be a later return that evening, because we got to stay till the sun goes down. But it should be a really nice day and not too long of a day. May 10th, we're going to go to Gatorland, America's favorite family gator park. And it's 110 acres of fun and wildlife preserves. They've got over 2,000 gators and crocs, bobcats, panthers, emus. Don't go near the emus. Emus are mean. I had an emu. I've had a buffalo stick his head in my car and not threaten me at all, but the emus were trying to tear the car apart. They got gator jumperoo, up close encounters with alligators. There is food available. They have a couple different locations to get some food while you're there, and round-trip transportation with your admission included. May 12th, we're going to go down to the Broadway Palm Dinner Theater to see the great show In the Heights. And it's a Tony Award-winning story of a vibrant community in New York's Washington Heights community, where the coffee from the corner bodega is light and sweet, the windows are always open, and the breeze carries the rhythm of 3 generations of music. It's a story about a winning lottery ticket, a power outage, and romantic tension that all hit the neighborhood at the same time. Should be a great show. And Broadway Palm, if you haven't been there, my favorite feature at the Broadway Palm is the 2 separate dessert tables. Because the one on the left side of the stage has cookies and cookies and ice cream and whipped cream and stuff like that. The one on the right has the cakes and pies.
This is the cookies and ice cream. Ice cream is here. And cookies over.
Yes.
And they got cookies there too, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I'm facing the stage, cookies and ice cream's over there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. I'm sorry, I'm facing you.
Right.
That's why.
Why would you want to do that?
All the help I get. Oh my God. So they got great desserts there. They have adult beverages if you would like those. Those are an extra fee. And it should be a really, really fun show with a lot of great music. May 14th. Here's my girl. You want to see her do that again?
No, she don't want that yellow dress.
I know. I got to change her yellow dress. I haven't had a chance yet. She doesn't like the yellow dress.
She did. She said, did you ever see me wear yellow?
I know. It's a nice spring color. We're going to go back to Mount Dora. This time, instead of the Canal boat ride, you're going to have the day either to explore Mount Dora or go over to Renninger's Antiques and do some shopping. And shopping with Wendy is never dull. I guarantee you, you can just wonder what she's going to get kicked out of the house for buying now. Here she comes bouncing into Mount Dora.
I have a question about that.
Yes, ma'am.
She was talking about if you wanted to go over to Renninger's, that it was a little bit of a walk on uneven.
It's about 3 miles of a
Yeah,
walk.
you're walking.
That's a little bit of walk, yeah.
The bus will drop you off.
They will.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna shuttle. We're gonna do a drop off in downtown Mount Dora and a drop off at Renninger's. So yeah, you don't have to walk 3 miles. I did it with Wendy
But they
because
don't
I thought it
want
was maybe a mile and a quarter when we did it, and we
So
started
I
walking.
just wanted to go to Renninger's,
Yes, you will get to go to Renninger's.
okay. But you said Mount Dora first,
Probably drop off in Mount Dora, then Renninger's, because Mount Dora is
so I just
first.
don't get off at Mount Dora, I just wait and go to Renninger's.
That would work.
Okay.
Okay. All right, moving along. We got May 15th. We're going to go to the St. John's River Ship. We do this 2 or 3 times a year, and it always is a sellout. So, again, if you're not on the list for it, get on there. Avoid disappointment. Let me see. Yeah, I've already got 16 there. So that'll be sold out probably by the middle of April. Beautiful trip up to St. John's River on a nice paddle boat. Really good meal. Just did one not too long ago, and everybody came back happy and satisfied. May 19th, we're going to do lunch bunch at Fred's Market in Plant City. Great buffet, really good food, locally sourced organic vegetables and fruits there.
Will we go to that produce stand or ice?
We will probably do a produce stand with that, yeah. Because now I'm stuck with 5-hour charters for lunch bunch, so I got to find something to do to justify why we're out 5 hours. May 21st, we're going to go up to Weeki Wachee. We haven't been there since before COVID, and the mermaids are back, so you can go see the mermaid show. They've got a boat ride. They've got wild animal shows outside, and there's food available at the park, so you can get something to eat. May 22nd, we've got Myrtle Beach coming. And that one has been selling pretty good too. Myrtle Beach is up to 22 already. So if you're thinking about Myrtle Beach, don't wait around. That is staying at the Beach Cove Resort, where every room has an ocean view. It's got 9 meals included. We're going to get a guided city tour of Charleston. We're going to go to Brook Green Gardens and see all the beautiful statues and gardens. Then you got 3 fantastic shows, one each evening that you're in Myrtle Beach. And plenty of free time to enjoy the hotel. And this time, the lazy river won't be too cold to go in there. So if you want to float in a tube on the lazy river and sip your Mai Tai, you can do that. May 24th, we're planning to do Cirque Du Soleil, and that is the show Drawn to Life. We waited over 2 years for that show. We finally got to do it in December. Everybody who saw it said it was amazing. And Dad even got in to see it, and he said it was one of the best Cirque shows he's ever seen. If you would like to see this one, get on board now, because it's not something I run real often. It's a little expensive, so I probably will only run it every maybe 2 or 3 years if the demand is there. So if you miss this one, don't count on seeing it again on the calendar, and don't beg me for it right away, because you missed it. Yes.
What is the price though?
That one is $149, and that includes your ticket for the show and your round trip transportation. We do get there a few hours before the show to give you a chance to do a little shopping and get a bite to eat. And I think it's a 5:30 curtain for the show. Also the same week on Sunday, May 29th, we got Shen Yun coming up, and Shen Yun, Ollie's got flyers for it back here. It's an incredible show based on ancient Chinese culture. And their logo is China before communism. Now, one interesting thing about the show, they are not supported by the Chinese Communist Party or the government in any way. In fact, the Chinese Communist Party actively tries to do things to mess up their shows and interferes with their ability to do it. So if you want to support these guys, they keep ancient Chinese culture alive. It's beautiful, it's colorful, there's incredible music, amazing performers and dancers. Dad went and saw it last year. He said it was one of the best shows he's ever seen. So we're bringing them back. Okay, back to more Wheels on the Bus. It's Wheels on the Bus time. If you can't read that, it says, "Go home, bus, you're drunk." And what the bus sign says is, "Choo-choo, I'm a train." So perhaps that bus is drunk. Way to go, bus design person. Oh, come on, that should get more laughs than that. If you need me to explain it to you. Here we go. This is Jesse driving on the Daytona Speedway, or he would like it to be him driving on the Daytona Speedway. This one says, "Will you still need me? Will you still feed me?" If you don't see, the route number on the bus is 64. So, Beatles song?
Yeah.
Will you still feed me? Will you still feed me when I'm 64? Anyway. Okay, here's a joke for you. Make sure you memorize this and use it on your friends. What's the difference between a dirty bus stop and a lobster with breast implants? One is a crusty bus station, and the other is a busty crustacean.
I agree, good one.
That sounds like one Johnny Carson would have used back in the day. Ed would be helping him out. Okay, Ollie, it's time for you to pick up the Where in the World slips. So if you haven't finished your answer on your little yellow slip, time's up. But if your name's on there, you can still win stuff. If you would pass them to the center of the aisle, that makes it easy for Ollie to collect them. Ollie's busy picking up silverware for Carl. I'm going to give that a minute while you guys get that sorted out. Here, I'll even help out. Thank you.
And the receipts, right?
Bob, did you always turn your homework in late when you were a kid too?
My fault.
That was you.
He didn't have pens.
Ah,
You don't want to allow them, you don't want receipts.
I'll let Ollie do it. Thank you. We'll be doing downstairs. They're giving you receipts.
Yeah, I want to signature.
All right, I'm going to move forward. Now that those have been collected, here we go.
Barbara, you want to hand your receipt?
June 1st, we got a brand new show. It's called Happy Together. It's going to be at Ruth Eckerd Hall. It is. I don't have the time on there. I think it's in evening performance, if I remember correctly. But it's got a lot of great bands from the 60s and 70s that some of you guys will remember. The Turtles, Chuck Negron, Gary Puckett, the Association, the Vogues, and the Cowskills. If you don't know who the Cowskills are, anybody remember the show Love American Style? They did the theme song. So that's one of their hit songs. Should be a really great show, a lot of fun. Good chance for you to dress up in your 60s and 70s attire if you still have your bell bottoms. I'm sure that Terry has bell bottoms still, hanging out with all the Navy guys. We have a trip coming back to San Antonio, Houston, and New Orleans, June 4th to 11th. And this is a very similar trip to one we did, I think, in 2018. It's a really good itinerary. I really like this one. 14 meals included for 8 days. So we're going to visit Mobile, Lafayette, Louisiana. We're going to have an afternoon in New Orleans. We're going to visit Cajun country. We're going to have a night in Houston in Sugar Land and a day at the Texas Johnson Space Center. While we're in Houston, my exhaustive research, I've uncovered the home address of two guys, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. So we're going to do a drive-by of the houses they lived in when they went to the moon. And I will tell you, either Neil was better at investing his money or got higher pay than Buzz, because Neil's house is nicer than Buzz's. We're going to then have 2 nights at the St. Drury Inn San Antonio Riverwalk. Great place to spend some time. You're going to love it there. The Riverwalk is gorgeous. Our hotel, you walk out the back door of the hotel, you're right on the Riverwalk. And there are all kinds of shops and restaurants all around there. If you want to go out and have a fancy meal, you can do that, but it's a Drury Inn. So we've got Drury dinners every night. If you haven't had the Drury dinner, it's nothing super fancy. It's chicken and pasta and hot dogs and stuff like that. But the one thing everybody comes back for is you do get a coupon for 3 cocktails or beers or wines that evening. Do be careful if you've had your 3 cocktails and you go out for a couple more. Walking around the Riverwalk could be hazardous to your health. It's an ocean nightmare. There is no railing. So I wonder how many folks who've had too many cocktails, they fish out in the morning every day. There's a boat that comes around looking. So do watch yourself around the Riverwalk. Watch out getting too close to the edge there. Again, 2 nights at the Drury Inn Riverwalk, beautiful place. We're going to visit the Alamo. We're going to go to Sash Shoes, the Mexican market, tons more stuff. It's all on the flyer in the back. June 4th, we've got a show at the Broadway Palm called Rock of Ages. And Rock of Ages, it's a 5-time Tony Award nominated smash musical. It's the rags to riches story of a small town girl, a city boy, and a rock and roll romance on the Sunset Strip. When the ultimate rock bar is set to be demolished, it's up to these wannabe rockers and their friends to save the day. How many 80s movies had that exact plot? All of them. The electric score features all of your favorite 80s rock anthems, including I Want to Know What Love Is, Every Rose Has Its Thorn, Here I Go Again, Don't Stop Believing, and so many more. How many of you guys drove too fast to those songs when you were younger? I know I did. June 12th, we're going to go back to St. Armand Circle, a little south of us, a little south of Sarasota. Beautiful area. It's a big circle. You can see in the aerial view there. You can go around the circle. There's a Columbia restaurant. There's a Tommy Bahama restaurant. There's an ice cream shop. There's art shops, clothing, shoes, everything you could want is right there. And it's a beautiful scenery. On the inside of the circle here, if you want to do a little sightseeing, there are monuments to circus performers. And that's a real interesting walk there. As you walk around, you can read about all the different circus performers that they're memorializing. And there's going to be a craft festival going on. So there will be artists and craftsmen showing off their wares for you. June 14th, doing something new. We haven't done this in many, many years. This is the Publix Aprons Cooking School. They've got one in Tampa. So we're going to go over. Now, you guys will not all be actually doing the cooking, which some of you look relieved. They probably won't even ask you to wash the dishes, which is really good. But you're going to sit there, and their top world-rated chefs are going to show you how to prepare a couple of really good meals. They'll pair some wine with the meal, and you guys will get to have a delightful lunch with them. And that's the name of the game that day. So you go home with some skills, some ways to cook a better dinner, and have something really good to eat. And you get a little wine, too. Can't beat it.
Do you know what the meal is?
It is called Wine and Dine in Spain.
A little wine.
It's a Spanish food. Yeah, it's a Spanish thing. June 16th, we're doing a unique lunch bunch. We're going to go to the Floridan Hotel over in Tampa. And yeah, there's the dining room. There's the hotel. It's one of the older hotels in Tampa, but it's a beautiful property and should be a blast. The menu we were talking about was really good. We're going to do the Brighton Casino. Those of you who like to get out and do a little casino action, we're going to go to Lake Placid, Florida, and we're going to take you to the Brighton Casino. Now, of the casinos we regularly go to, it is the smallest one. So out of Immokalee and Tampa. However, one thing I found with the smaller casinos is their rate of return on your bets is better. You have a better chance of winning something with the smaller casinos than the big ones, in my experience. We're going to have 2 4-hour trips to the casino. We'll be there during bingo hours both days to make sure my folks who are hooked on that bingo get a chance to play. We got one night at the Holiday Inn Express. It's a really nice hotel overlooking a pretty little lake. If you're up early for your breakfast on day 2, the sun rises over the lake. It's real nice scenery. We're going to do a tour of the murals. We're going to visit. They have an arts and crafts co-op that's going to open just for us on Sunday. They don't normally open on Sunday, but I'm persuasive. June 18th, those of you who like tea rooms, like young Mr. Keene back there, I know he's a huge fan of tea rooms. Come on. Oh, there's a smile. We're going to go to the Empress Tea Room. It's over in Tampa. We've been there before, but not for quite a while. They've actually changed locations, and they're in a little bit bigger venue, but it'll be a full tea with plenty to eat. You won't go away hungry. June 21st, we're going to do Medieval Times. Now, I haven't done Medieval Times in years and years. Last time I tricked you, and I made it a mystery tour. So I can't do that this time because it was done as a mystery tour not that long ago. However, one thing I have figured out about the Medieval Times, when I try to do it as a matinee in the summer, who do you think the matinees in the summer are primarily for?
Yes.
It's the school kids out of school for the summer. So there's no beer and wine available when we do a matinee in the summer. So we're going to do an evening performance. It's a 5 p.m. show. Beer and wine will be available. They will do a full, jousting and sword fights, falconry, great music. The Queen will be there, and you'll have a fantastic time. Last time we did it, one of our girls actually caught I think it was a rose that the knight threw in the crowd. One of our girls caught it, so the knight was fighting for her the entire evening. She was very excited. She probably still has that rose.
One day?
It's a one-day trip, so it'll depart afternoon and get back evening.
It's
And then finally, wrapping up the month of June, June 30th, we're going to go back down to Marina Jack's. That's down in Sarasota Bay. Beautiful ship. That's the Marina Jack 2 right there. Really good food, good scenery. A lot of times you'll see dolphins in the water. The water's nice and crystal clear. You're surrounded by beautiful Mediterranean architecture all the way around the bay. And it's one of our more popular cruises. It's not as long a day as going to the St. Johns River. So time for a little bit more wheels on the bus. Here we go. And it says, "It's okay, bus. We all make mistakes." You can't see the marquee on the bus says, "Sorry." And it looks like it drove into somebody's store. I like this one. I want to go. Barbara wants to go too, don't you? I want to go wherever this bus is going.
Let's
Look
go.
at all the doggies. This one's for my dad, because my dad drove Greyhound for years. Could you believe we never had a Greyhound as a pet? This dog takes the bus every day to see his owner at work. What a cute dog. Aww. And closing out, wheels on the bus. Always thank your bus driver. Always be nice to him. He's doing a hard job, especially on those multi-day tours, because between the driver and me or the driver and dad, we're slinging your suitcases. And I know who you are to bring your bowling balls, your weight sets, and your beer, and your plutonium, and whatever else you got in them suitcases. We got 2 more trips to talk about, and then we'll do wrap up. Cherokee, 4th of July. I got 5 people on this already, and it's been on the website for like 2 days. So I got a hunch this one's going to sell out. It's an exciting trip. Barbara did it with me, same itinerary a few years ago, and we had a blast. 8 meals included. We got 2 nights at Drury's on the way up and back. Now, I think it's day 2 or day 3. No, it's day 2. No, day 3. Day 3, you have an option. You can either play it safe and ride a train, a nice choo-choo train through the mountains for 4.5 hours. They've got beer and wine and a lunch car on the train, and you can just sit back in your air conditioning and relax. Or you can do what Barbara and I did, and you can get in a whitewater raft and go down the Nantahala River, which is taking the same path the train is. So those of you who do opt for the train, you can look out the window and look at the maniacs in the boat, and we'll wave to you as you go by. And it's an either or. It's basically the same price whether you do boat or train. Obviously, you can't do both because they happen at the same time. But it's a really good time. And I will tell you, if you have done whitewater rafting, this river's not that bad. It's class 3 rapids, which is only like the last rapid. I've done it like a dozen times. I've taken little kids on it. It's not bad, but it is a lot of fun. We'll warn you, you have to have some kind of water shoes on because the bottom of the boat is not sealed, and there will be icy cold river water on your feet the whole trip. We're going to have a chance to visit the Cherokee Koala Arts Co-op. If you want to look at some beautiful handmade, really expensive baskets and things like that. We're going to visit the Oconaluftee Mountain Museum, where we have a good chance of seeing some elk. And we're going to go up to Mingus Mill. Don't hang out with Ollie, because Ollie chases the elk and gets in trouble with the rangers. She almost got arrested last time. One thing that's different this time, last time we did this, we made the performance of Unto These Hills optional. And that is a stage performance of the history of the Cherokee people. It's very moving. It's really interesting. You'll come away not liking Andrew Jackson very much, but it's a great story. And that's going to be on the 4th of July. And guess what time the show gets over? About 10 p.m. Guess what time they're shooting off the fireworks? About 10 p.m. So as we're coming out of the show, we should be able to see fireworks all around us. It should be great. Optional things. Some of these have a fee. The Oconaluftee Indian Museum. There's a Harrah's Casino. I guarantee you there's a fee for the Harrah's Casino, unless you're really good. There's a Cherokee Bear Zoo, and we're probably going to go visit Clingmans Dome. If you haven't been to Clingmans Dome, it's the highest point in the area on the Appalachian Trail, about 6,500 feet above sea level. And a few weeks after that, I'm supposed to be hiking Clingmans Dome from Fontana Dam. So this could be your last chance to see me alive. Okay, we've been waiting a long time for this one. This is our big fall trip. And this is the fall foliage in Vermont trip with a lot of fantastic features, a lot of good stuff to see. Again, back to ice cream. If you saw my dish of ice cream, you know how I feel about it. We're going to visit Ben and Jerry's for a tour and an ice cream tasting. That's probably the highlight of the trip to me. We're going to visit Vermont during fall foliage time, so see some beautiful fall foliage. We're going to visit a maple farm and see how they make maple syrup. We're going to visit cider mills, and they're going to show us how they make apple cider. We're going to visit Stowe. We're going to, I'm trying to remember, Shelburne Museum in Burlington Church. This boat here, oh no, wait, that's not it. That is, boop, boop. I just got this, so I'm still trying to memorize this.
The trip sheet wasn't in the back, right?
It should be back there. I had it.
Oh.
I might not have it on there.
No, you don't have it. It's a diamond tour.
It is a diamond tour. So it's on one of those full color sheets, but they are in the back. Anyway, one of the features I got added to the tour, if you know me, I'm a big Star Trek fan. You look in the upper right, we're going to go right by Ticonderoga, New York. So instead of taking you to a horse track in Ticonderoga, New York, we're going to visit the Star Trek Original Series set tour. And this is where a guy named James Cawley has bought an entire shopping center, kind of like this one, and turned it into an exact replica of Stage 9 Desilu Studios in 1966, when they started making Star Trek, the original series. He actually is licensed by Paramount, so it's not some fly-by-night thing. He actually has had William Shatner out there half a dozen times. Shatner has celebrated several birthdays there, meeting the fans. And we won't have William Shatner there, but we will have James's expert tour guides. So you're going to get to visit the bridge of the Enterprise, sick bay, the corridors, captain's quarters, the briefing room, engineering. And there is a rumor that James is acquiring the original full-scale shuttlecraft from the series that could be on display there. He's also got a replica 11-foot Enterprise model that should be on display. He also has a large collection of original costumes and props that you'll get to see. So if you have a costume, feel free to wear it. I'll be wearing mine. And those boots are not any fun to walk in, I can tell you right now. My boots are exact replicas of Shatner's boots, including the heels. I feel so sorry for you girls when I put those things on. Anyway, that's our fall foliage in Vermont. We got a few people on that already too, and that's only been out a couple days. Good chance that's going to be a sellout by the time it gets here. So today is March 9th. What holidays do we have today? Today is Amerigo Vespucci Day. And he was an explorer, came after Christopher Columbus. But when he wrote all of his memoirs of coming to the New World, when they did, the cartographers made the maps of the New World, what did they call this continent he was describing? Amerigo. And that became America. So that's why we're called America. Bang Clang Day. Anybody know what that one is? It's not my kids in the kitchen banging pots together. It's actually to commemorate the first ironclad battle of the Civil War, the Monitor and the Merrimack shooting at each other, and that's why they call it Bang and Clang Day. I had to look that one up. Today's Barbie Day, March 9th, 1959. Barbie was born. Discover what your name means day. Look up your name. Todd, if you don't know, means fox. If you remember the Fox and the Hound, that makes sense. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but today is False Teeth Day. That applies to some of you and not others. And if that would offend you, it is also Get Over It Day. Let's see. Upcoming trips. We got a Great Smoky Mountains trip that's been in the works for a while. That'll be in October. Dad and Lori are working on that. I'm working on something kind of centered near Orlando and Titusville, because I've got a bunch of features I want to do over that way. It won't work for a day trip. Kind of like when we did the mystery tour and we went to Bob Ross and we went to Cocoa Beach and did all that stuff. So we're going to have, it's kind of going to be a conglomeration of things in that part of the state that I can't do as day trips. So they won't really fit together exactly. but they'll all be fun and interesting. And we'll probably stay at that Drury in Orlando again, if I can get a deal. And same thing with Atlanta. I've been collecting, a lot of you guys have been making suggestions about things in the Atlanta area. So we're going to try and put together an Atlanta trip sometime soon. So that is the rumor mill. Savannah. We want Savannah back. We'll work on that. Does anybody have any questions for me? Going once, going twice. Anybody at home? I can't hear you anyway. Any questions? Going once? No? Okay, you guys ready for prizes?
Yes.
Okay, Miss Holly, did anybody come close to guessing the answer?
I couldn't remember what you said.
Oh, no.
Well, I mean, you know me, I'm not too smart.
That is not correct.
Okay, well then none of these would be either.
No?
And I just figured you need.
Okay, so we'll just do a drawing for the 25
Are
then.
you gonna do these?
That's next month. Yeah, if you dined today with the nice folks here at Big Apple, or if you're gonna dine after, save your receipt, put your name on there, turn it in, because next month we'll do a drawing for 25 bucks off of a trip from your receipts from the Big Apple. So since nobody guessed the right answer, here's the answer. Oh, next month, the meeting will be here, April 13th. Don't forget to tip your servers. Dave's not here. So here's your answer. This was the community pool,
Yeah, I knew that.
and it's in the shape of a Mercury space capsule. And that is on Shorewood Drive in Seabrook,
I
Texas.
got it. I put it on the back of the script.
Did you really?
Yes, it's on the
Oh,
back
no.
of the script.
How did you know
I
that?
wrote it down. When you said it, I remembered.
Did you just put Shorewood Drive?
I put so,
Oh, Shorewood Drive don't count because I gave you that.
so.
That doesn't count. That's not fair. That's you? Yeah, Shorewood Drive isn't enough of an answer. So we're still gonna just do a drawing. I'm sorry, darling.
And you said.
Yeah, because I gave you that.
that one down as
It was a good try though.
It was worth a shot. That's what, I'm gonna have Miss Ollie draw, so that I can't be accused of favoritism. Why don't you draw hers?
Well, then that'll make up for it.
Nope, this is a pass, Marina Spears. Put Marina back into the drawing.
Sorry, Marina.
Marina didn't get to win because she won in January. Barb Garabrand. Barb won this month. Congratulations, Miss Barb. Okay, we have some prizes to give away. These are some donations I've gotten from some folks. I'm going to start out with these orange slice apron, oven mitt, and pot holder, a lovely collectible set. And Ollie's going to tell me who that goes to. Where's Dwayne Carte? Dwayne, you got an apron, an oven mitt, and a pot holder.
Yay,
Congratulations.
Yay, Dwayne.
Okay, next I have a fortune cookie. I won't do that. Let's see. These are kind of small, so I'll give somebody both of these. These are Lindt milk chocolate truffles. 2 of those coming to you. That goes to Bob Durant today.
Yay,
He
Bob.
brought his son with him, so you can share with your son. There you go.
I want that prize. I can't get it was up there.
Let's see, I've had this one in the bag for a little while, but it's still good. I checked the expiration date. It's 12 Fives Rebel Hard Coffee, limited editions, pumpkin spice latte, malt beverage with natural flavors and 100% Arabica coffee. I hope you like it. Warm and spicy, 5% alcohol by volume.
And I'm gonna.
Who's giving that? Terry Stiff,
Look at what he wrote.
Todd's house. Todd's house. Smart Allen. Yeah, I couldn't have given that to anybody more perfect if I did it on purpose.
Now, you didn't shake his up, did you?
Well, one way to find out. All right, I've got one last top prize, and this is Barefoot Bubbly California Champagne Pink Moscato. Save that for last. And that will go to Sandra. Where's Sandra? Sandra, well, you can win this.
Better than that one.
There you go. Well, that one was from Wendy, Terry, so if you like it, tell her. If you don't, tell her that. Okay, that takes us to the end of the travel club meeting. Hi, folks at home. And thank you for joining us today. Again, we'll be back on April 13th, but we'll be out doing all kinds of bus tours between now and then, so we'd love to see you along. I'll be here if you have questions, and Ollie's in the back if you want to sign up for anything or pay for anything. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Okay, see you. Where's my envelope?
Oops. What's that?
Still home?
Yeah, so far. You want me to turn it off?
I had a question I wanted to ask you about.
Yeah. Let me get that shut down. Because they don't need to see the whole closing ruckus anyway.
I'm just giving a walk onto your set.
It's true.
Yeah.